Hello. Okay. Welcome everyone to the Italian race here. We're live in we're live in we're live in Italy again. It's day 2 of the session. Welcome everyone to the Italian race here. We are live with the drivers on the grid with multiple on the pit start. We did not broadcast qualifying for today, but as you can see, and race control announces delayed start, and we are live in Monza. Let me let me flash to you all the quali times to be brought to you. For our starting grid today, we won't have graphics today, but we will just flash to you the image. Let's put up the image now for you people. Okay. For our qualifying today, let's hope that works. Oh, no, never mind. Let's discuss our starting grid for today. And I don't think we have enough time for that. The cars are revving down to the 5 lights. Here we go. Vez on pole. Great start from Vez. And great start from Olar. Drivers now moving down to turn 1. They're now driving to turn 1 as we just switch our broadcast over there. And Vez still maintaining the lead of the race. And we have technical difficulties. We are currently working on that. Let's go back there. Back to the footage with the Vez. And Vez fallen quite behind here. Multiple drivers, and Olar now leading the race. Olar now leading the Italian Grand Prix here. Oh, and someone goes wide in the back. We're just gonna see who that was. I think that was a Space or someone. But a few went wide there after the second chicane. Olar now leading everyone into after Lesmos into Ascari. They're now they're now the two Aston Martins are now behind Olar. Olar now having to defend against Senna and Bullet. Down into the straight of Parabolica they go. With the Haas of Complex in fourth. Chasing down the two Aston Martins. With Jacob starting from the pit lane after driving on the opposite side of the track at the sprint yesterday. Is he able to make up points today with 19 laps in today's race? Olar now into turn 1 sets the fastest lap of the session, but it's been taken by Bullet, who seems to be marginally faster than Olar. Now 5 tenths behind Olar. Into turn 1 they go. Amazing move by Bullet. Can he stick it in? But Olar still stays ahead. We have technical difficulties with the camera, but the driver's still pushing. Olar still maintaining the lead after the first lap. Can he hold it into the second chicane? They go. Olar, Bullet now chasing Olar with 4 tenths now, gaining 1 tenth into Lesmos. They go. Let's go. Let's do the back to the pack with the Haas now about to overtake the Audi here. Makes the move, goes wide a bit. Two Aston Martins back with the footage there. They're now chasing Olar into Ascari. They go. I'm gonna wonder what the strategy here is gonna be. Senna now slipstreaming off Bullet into Parabolica. They go. Into the pit straight they go. Olar still leading. Sets the fastest lap of the race. And it's been taken by Vez, who sets a 124.4. Into turn 1 they go. Clean exit by all three drivers. It is Olar leading, then Senna, then Bullet. And Jacob sets the fastest lap of the session with the 121.4.3. I think the spectate's a bit messed up here, but that's not gonna be too much of an issue. Update on your positions. We have Complex for Haas in the two Haases in 4th and 5th. Then Carlin in 6th after a bad start. And I think the Audi goes a bit wide on Lesmos there. But here comes Jacob, still keeping it clean after his massively disappointing DNF yesterday at the sprint. Is he able to make up points in today's race and keep his title shot at the championship, which he's still currently leading, surprisingly? When Olar goes wide on Parabolica, he might be getting a warning for that. No incidents yet so far in the session. Senna sets the fastest lap of the session with 124.2, taking Jacob's 124.3. And he cuts the track. I think that was Bullet. That cut the track there. Or Senna. Senna goes wide on the track there. And he's been faced with a penalty there for cutting the turn 1. I think he's fallen significantly. I'm not. Yep, there's Senna. He's falling behind the Haas of Complex, catching up. He takes, when it's being investigated by the stewards for that incident. Now the Haas of Complex in, I think that Vez, the Audi of Vez in 3rd now. Back to the footage for Olar now, leading the Grand Prix massively by a 4-second gap to Vez. Is able to hold it for long. Amazing race from everyone. I think a guy hit the barrier there after Ascari. Let's go on the onboard for Rory. See how he's doing. Into Ascari goes. He's still P11th. 1 position behind the points. Just the track limits there. And Senna makes up the position. We're gonna go back to Senna here. Overtakes Carlin into the straight. Update on our positions. We have Olar leading with Vez in 2nd, Senna in 3rd, Carlin in 4th, Complex in 5th, the Audi in 6th, and Bullet in 7th. I think he faced a penalty there. He fell significantly behind now. Now in 7th. Olar's gap to Vez has been increased by now nearing 5 seconds. Olar on fire. Is he able to win? Is he gonna be able to win again after his maiden sprint win yesterday in Monza? He's now increased the gap to 5 seconds marginally, and now Carlin goes up to 3rd place. He's now battling on the onboard for Carlin, battling the Haas, or Audi. The two now fighting into Parabolica. They go. Focusing our broadcast on these two. They're side by side with a bit of lag. Carlin still takes the lead, moving up to 3rd. But I think the Audi is gonna move up to 3rd with he has the slipstream. He's gonna use his battery down straight. But I think Carlin's gonna be able to shut the door there. Shuts the door well on the Audi. Great exit by Carlin. Still leading 3rd. Now moving on the onboard for Complex. Is he gonna be able to overtake the car of Senna here? He's fallen 2 positions down now, and he does. Now on the onboard for Seb for Cadillac. Now into the second chicane. There he goes. We're just gonna restart our broadcast real quick, just in case there might be issues. Okay, there might be an issue with the spectate, so we're only gonna be able to spectate a few number of cars. Now we're on lap 6 with Olar on the soft compound tires. He's gonna have to think about boxing soon, but that's gonna be up to his strategy. The strategy here might work out. He's now been leading the race for 6 laps with a 6-second gap to Vez, which I am assuming he's on soft compounds as well. Assuming the strategy for this race is a soft medium, but I think Olar might be able to pull this off if he gets the timing right. He's now leading by 6.5 seconds. Let's go back to the onboard for Jacob, who's now made his way up from P11 to P9. Into turn 1 he goes. He's now moving back into the points. In this position currently, he would have 2 points in today's race. He's moving up. He's moving up in life, I guess. Back to the onboard for Rory, still in 11th, who's fallen quite significantly. And Space still in 12th. After pit lane starting, I think he had a bad start off the pit lane. Both Rory and Space had to start from the pit lane after Rory incurring a false start yesterday at the sprint. No, actually, you got a 10-second time penalty for that. Back to the onboard for Olar, now leading by 6.7 seconds. Very around 6.7. Very interesting. And oh, the two Aston Martins are battling now down into Scary on the onboard for Senna. You can see Complex and Bullet are battling it out into a Parabolica. They go. Olar still surviving 8 laps on these soft tires. This tire management from Olar is absolutely insane. The season 1 world champion still leading. Now increasing the gap to now 7 seconds to Vez. Vez on soft tires as well. Carlin as well on soft tires. I think the compound today will be soft mediums strategy. And now the two Aston Martins are behind Complex. Can Complex keep the two Aston Martins behind into the second chicane? Complex doing a pretty good job of holding back the two Astons. And now update on Olar's gap. It's 7 seconds. He might be able to box as the predicted strategy goes a bit wide there on Ascari. He's definitely feeling the effects now of those worn soft compound tires. Into parabolic he goes. Back to the onboard for Carlin in third. He still has to worry about an Audi behind him. It is an Audi sandwich between for Carlin. He's just in the center, in between all the two of them. And the two Aston Martins are about to catch up to Complex. And now Olar pits. Olar pits for his soft compound tires. We didn't see that. Now he's on the mediums. Vez now leads the race. Still on those soft compound tires. They're going to have to think about boxing soon. Will Olar's strategy make up for it? The outlap will be critical for Olar. He's going to have to make it count. He just stays ahead. He's unable to stay ahead of Bullet, who now is in front of Olar. But Olar on better, fresher, medium tires, he's going to make the overtake. And he's able to overtake Bullet there. Back to the lead of the race, Vez and Carlin now first and second. Vez is now going to have to keep pushing, increase that gap if he wants to keep Olar behind. No, he gets penalized. He gets penalized for cutting on Lesmos. His teammate takes back the lead. And now Vez has fallen to third here. Carlin now leading the Italian Grand Prix. The two Audis are now on the hunt for the Red Bull. Back to the onboard for Olar. If you can get an Olar on. Oh, and Bullet gets a penalty on Ascari for cutting. I have a feeling that Aston Martins are definitely feeling the effects of the tires, and Carlin stays out. Will the Audis pit? One of them does. Actually, none has. Olar now creeping up behind him with a 9-second gap to the leader. This might be the Olar might have pulled up. Oh, and he locks up a bit into turn 1. Vez still keeps it clean. And now Bullet pitting as well. Same with the other car behind. I think that's a Cadillac. That's the Cadillac of Seb or Space, assumingly. Oh, he just pits. And now Bullet goes out on the medium compound tires. We're just right ahead. Oh! Weaves crazily in front of Jacob. What? I have no idea what that was. Might have been something. Now behind. He's now behind Jacob here. Carlin still leading the Italian Grand Prix. He's just about to get overtaken just in time by Obmanchik. I am not sure who the second Audi is. If we just let me double check here. I think we'll just refer to him as Sky for now. And Carlin takes back the lead from Sky, leading the race again once more. And now Carlin and Sky are battling. Olar still in 4th, increasing that gap. He's already made his 1 pit stop requirement. These two, Carlin and Sky, haven't. Same with Vez, still on the soft compound tires. They're really pushing the limit to these tires. Now one's got on just in time to see the Cadillac of Space over to end. I think one guy pits. If we can just get the onboard there. Our broadcast is pretty much broken. We can't spectate specific people, but car pits. Good for them. All eyes are gonna be on car. Oh, I think so far no incident. Jacob still keeping it clean. Sky now leading the Grand Prix, which he did make his tire switch. This might have been the strategy for Sky. He's now leading the Italian Grand Prix on fresh medium tires compared to Olar. 2 laps fresher than Olar's, to be exact. Now into Parabolica he goes. Olar's gap to Sky 8 seconds. Now one's gotta think if his strategy really worked out. But again, anything can happen here. Back to Carlin. And now it's an Audi 1-2. And now Carlin goes for the pits. Along with Vez. Now we're gonna see who has the better pit stop time. Who can come out first, and it's gonna be Carlin. Carlin exiting the pits first. But Vez will stay ahead of Carlin. And to exiting the pits they go. We're on lap 12 of the race. All drivers must have pitted by now if they were starting out on the soft compound tires. And Carlin pits for another soft compound tire. This is going to be an interesting strategy to witness. And we're going to, I think, and now Vez on the medium compound tires. And now just right behind Carlin is Senna on the medium compound tires. Everyone has pitted now. And Vez has infringed the pit lane. We did not see that there. On lap 12, I think Vez might face a penalty for that. And as we can see, off camera, Olar is now 2nd in the race. He has an 8-second gap to Sky. I think Sky can chill comfortably, and Seb takes the fastest sector 1 of the race. If Sky can keep it clean, if Sky can focus on the race, he's going to be able to keep Olar just right behind him at 2nd. Right now, it would be really... Right now, all the favorites, everyone is rooting for Olar to get Mercedes their first victory since Season 1. Can Olar pull it off today? And as you can see off camera, here comes Vez. Just got overtaken by Carlin on the fresher soft compound tires. Into turn 1 they go. Carlin with a better exit. Vez with an even better one. They're now battling with their batteries. Into the second chicane they go. This is where it's really all gonna matter. When who can have the better entry and exit. Let's go on the onboard for Vez. And it looks like Vez has a marginally better exit, but Carlin on the soft compound tires. I don't think that's really gonna matter much. Into Lesmos they go. Into Lesmos 2. Can they make it clean? Can they make it work? Vez still behind Carlin. And Olar still in second. Into the straight to Parabolica he goes. Still leading. Sky still leading the Grand Prix by 8 seconds. And now we can't go to his onboard. But we can only assume now we can just focus the onboard on Olar for now. And now he's increased the and with a slight slide there, Olar keeps it clean and saves it. We're now on lap 14 to the race. 5 laps now remain in this Grand Prix. Sky, the man for Audi, assumingly a reserve or the second driver. We're gonna have to fact check that after the race. And now Olar's gap to Sky just getting bigger. Now going from an 8.4 to an 8.9 after that slip up into turn 1 and 2. Carlin holding the podium for Red Bull. Let's go back to the back of the pack. Jacob in 8th. Still moving up 1 position. He's still in the points. By this position, he would have 4 points. Quite obviously. And now, as you can see, Rory making up 1 extra position. He's now 10th. Made it into the points. And now Sky goes to pit. But this might give Olar the chance to overtake. Sky pitting and Olar now leads the Italian Grand Prix. I think what happened there was Sky started out on the medium compound tires, and he hasn't pitted yet, and now he pitted. I think that's a very interesting strategy. But now Olar leading the race by 10 seconds. Olar's chances now have massively increased here. He's not gonna pit anymore. We have 4 laps left into the race. Now Olar, if he can keep it clean for four extra laps, and if he can conserve that tire like Leclerc in there seems to be a crash there with a V carb. That's gonna call for that might call for a VSC there. There's been a stop. I think that the crashed car of a V carb after Lesmos. We did not get to see what happened there. Into 4 laps left into this Grand Prix. The V carb after Lesmos just crashes. I think that was Rory. Rory out of the race after a tragic. That's gotta be very tragic for Rory. Rory's Grand Prix hopes have been over, and Olar capitalizes off the VSC with a pit. I think the VSC can end here if the hazard's off track. The race stewards are just gonna confirm that. If we can check after Lesmos with space. And yes, the hazard's been clear. The VSC is now ending. And it's green flag. The race will now resume. In today's race, we have now 3 laps left into the race. Olar still leading. The massive gap. I don't think anyone was even able to catch up. The hazard's been cleared though with that VSC. Carlin still keeping second, and now we're gonna focus our broadcast with Carlin and Vez. These two are gonna put out a battle for us here. Into Ascari they go. Carlin with a better exit. Vez still catching. He has the better battery. Sky sets the fastest sector 2. The Audis are through P3 and P4. Vez is slipstreaming off Carlin. That's not gonna be enough though. Into Parabolica. Into the pit straight they go. Can he make the overtake in this race? Vez is willing. He's gonna be eager to take that position away from Carlin. Into the pit straight they go with the more battery. These two are now neck and neck. These two are separated by at least a car length. Into turn 1 they go. Vez takes... We can't really see what's happening there. These two are now side by side. Vez takes P2 of the race. Vez takes second away from Carlin in the race. And now Carlin has to worry about the second Audi in the back. This might be a double podium for the Audis. If Carlin can keep up with Vez, Vez is now gonna at least maintain his position with now Olar gapping everyone by 16 seconds. Now Carlin, as you can see, Carlin is slipstreaming. He's gonna slipstream. He's gonna use the battery on Vez. He's not gonna give up here just yet. Into Parabolica they go, with now 2 laps left remaining in this race. Carlin, now these two are side by side into the pit straight. Vez still holding his line. Into turn 1 they go. Still holds it in. Carlin with a better exit though. That's still not gonna be enough for Carlin. Vez is still hanging in there with a much... these two are on the same compounds of tires with the same amount of age for their tires. Viewing in everyone's compounds here. Olar on the softs. Vez on the mediums, Carlin on the softs, Sky on the softs, Senna on the mediums, along with Kurt, along with Complex and Bullet. And softs for the 2 Cadillacs, and mediums for Jacob, this championship leader. And now our eyes are gonna go towards Olar, moving into the final lap of this race. Olar, this man has not gotten a win since 2021. Today was very lucky for him. He pulled off with the strategy, and it's gonna pay off massively today, with Sky setting the fastest lap of today's session with a 1:23.6. And now we're gonna focus our sights first on Carlin, still battling Vez for that second place. And now Olar has a few turns to go, exiting Lesmos. Into Ascari Olar goes. He has a few turns left to deal with. Olar is just a few kilometers away from victory. Into Parabolica he goes. The Filipino once again victorious. Once again triumphant. And his first win since Season 1. The Season 1 World Champion takes the win in Monza. Triumphing. It's almost been a year for this man without a win. And he's gotten one back. It's been one season without a win. This man, I can tell he's very happy. And it's moving our broadcast with Vez. Vez takes second in the race. Carlin finishes the podium for Red Bull in third. And Audi scoring a decent amount of points in today's race. I can imagine Olar feeling all those emotions after not winning for so long. He definitely deserves this win. And now, let's move back to our... And Jacob finishes the race in P9 with space finishing within the points for Cadillac in P10. That's a double point finish for Cadillac in such a long time. Props to them. It's been a very interesting race for everyone, especially for this man. But it's gonna be celebration all night for Olar. I think I think that's gonna be a very disappointing race for Rory though. DNFing. If you could get Olar on stage, that would be amazing. If we could just Olar's just gonna pit first. Olar Roby, you are a race winner. How do you feel? You shocked the whole grid today. I'll let you just so you know, you shocked everyone today with your performance. You definitely deserve this one. Moving after that, you've won the sprint in Monza and you won the race here again. How do you feel for your team? And you've do you have that's gonna be all for the Italian Grand Prix. If anyone else wants to speak, they can raise their hands. We'll get Vez on. Vez, a P2 finish for Monza. How do you feel?
Okay, I guess. I mean, my first actual race in Apex, so not bad.
You were very dominant.
Pretty horrible. Pretty horrible because, I died like 3 times. I don't know how I got P2.
You were pretty.
Like, I legit spawned out 3 times. I don't know how I got P2.
You still pretty lucky, especially holding your ground against Carlin, who still finished third. You were pretty dominant in the V8 races, and you still yet showed your dominance.
Third? It's like in my screen P2. Like, the flag was like P2 on my screen. Oh.
But this is provisional results, and
Honestly, I'll be happy if I even get a podium. My first race in, well,
Well, congratulations as
Yes.
well. Moving into the next race, I kind of forgot what the next race will be, but moving into next race, how what are you thinking?
I know, at least I know what to do now. Cause like I had so much technical issues to the point where I died one time because of that.
It's pretty interesting, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I was struggling.
but I'm thinking, yeah, you're gonna be able to adapt more. But that's gonna be
Need
all.
more time. Need more time. That's it.
That's gonna be all for the race.
I don't even know how I got pole. I was just vibing.
The vibe. Anyways, yeah, that's all for today's race. Thank you everyone.